I spent a lot of time in school, not living in the same place long enough to be tracked by the jury duty people, or whatever is the agency that calls you for jury duty. I finally got called. The lawyer asks me, and I say, it says here you teach at Princeton. What do you teach? I said, well, I teach a course on the evaluation of evidence and the relative unreliability of eyewitness testimony. And I was out. Until the second time. 3 years later, I said, okay, I'm not going to tell them about this class. All right, so I'm there. The judge reads the facts of the case. The defendant was found in Upper Manhattan in possession of 2,000 milligrams of cocaine. This is undeniable. And I listen, and the judge says, well, do you have any questions about the facts of the case? Do you understand them? As I've read them. I said, I got a question, sir. Why did you read the cocaine possession the way you did? He said, what do you mean? I said, you said he had 2,000 milligrams of cocaine. That's 2 grams. Less than the weight of a penny. Why, sir, did you say it just that way? And then he looked at it, oh, that's just because that's how it's written here. He didn't know what he was reading. He didn't understand what he was reading. And so there I am, and I said, because it sounds like you're making the possession sound worse than it actually was. I'm concerned about that. There I was, back out on the street again.
Eyewitness testimony is one of the least reliable forms. The third time I was rejected from jury duty, I show up dutifully, okay? And the third time, they said there was a woman who was robbed on the street of her groceries and her purse. It's a literal he said, she said, okay? We read the particulars of the case. She said he robbed her, the groceries, took it, and then ran off. When the cops found the guy, he was not in possession of anything she said he took. They looked in the area if anything stashed in dumpsters or anything. They didn't find anything. Okay, so that's the state of the case. And the judge reads the particulars and goes to I'm down to the last 15. I'm almost on a jury for the first time. I'm almost there. And said, do you have any? Does anyone have any? Think they would not be able to convict based on the kind of information and evidence that's been presented? I said, yes, I'd have a problem if the only evidence available is eyewitness testimony, then everything I know about it tells me I should not trust it on the level where you end up putting someone in jail. So I could not convict if that's the only evidence you have. What the judge said next was, are there any other jurors, like Juror 14, who needs more than one witness before they would be able to convict? And I said, should I jump in now and say, that's not what I said? What should I do? I think the person in front of me said, Your Honor, that's not what he said. Ah. Okay? And I said, oh, thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Right? He said, that's not what he said. And I resisted with all my might to say, Your Honor, you were eyewitness to what I said 20 seconds ago and got it wrong.
Yes.
But I resisted, but I was nonetheless on the street 20 minutes later.
I think you should have said that just for his own edification.
No, it was a she, by the way. But,
she.